gonna be talking basketball.
Dishes it to Barkley, who somehow finds daylight. Allen for the win! Yes!
You are now listening to the 302 Birds Sixers Postgame Show with Dennis and KJ McCoy. Proudly powered by TickPick. Let's take it to the show.
Oh, God, man. I know Dennis is dancing. He's dancing because of the intro. It's the only positive that we can go by right now because that's a positive intro. But what a negative game this was. I mean, honestly, one of the worst performances I've ever seen as a Sixers fan. I mean, this was just pathetic. It was so pathetic that I even made this in the last 10 minutes. That's how pathetic this is. All Sixers fans want to wear bags over our heads right now. We all do because that was pathetic. The Sixers just lost. Now get this. They lost. I'm trying to see the actual score again. 142 to 110. But it was way worse. It felt like we lost by 1,000 points. I mean, that was just pathetic. At first, I mean, it seemed like it was going to be a way closer game than it actually came out to be. I mean, Kelly Oubre started the game off with the first points. He had the two-handed slam to start off the game. Then the Bulls went back, and they were up by at least like 4. And then they just didn't look back. They didn't look back one bit. What do you think, Dennis? What you got?
The only positive thing is our intro.
Yeah.
So where to next? I mean, is it as far as we go and change our mascot back to hip hop? Is it as far as we go back to the jerseys that we would always win with in the early 2000s? Is
I hope so.
We need to call Chuck out of retirement? Is it we just need to fire the whole team? Where to next? I just don't know watching this team. It's disgusting, disgraceful. This is so bad that this team is so sad that it's more sad than watching the SS United States leave Philadelphia last week. This is getting to be depressing. It's not even fun to watch anymore. We've been through the process. We already know the process and the problem. But you're down 9 at the end of the first. It was 39-30. Then the Bulls go on a tear and do 36, and you only put up 28.
Yep.
Then you let them put up 40 in the third, and you only put up 18.
Yeah.
And then you want to make an impact in the fourth and come back and put 34 up. It don't work.
Yeah. They just had no energy. I mean, this team had no energy at all tonight. And it was like watching a funeral. I mean, it was like watching a funeral, and this was just sad. And I mean, it was depressing to watch. I saw a lot of fans leaving like they should. I think even M. Night Shyamalan even left early. I mean, he couldn't even create like a better scene. He couldn't even help out with his movie skills. He couldn't even come up with
We were 10 for 40 from 3.
Yeah. Beyond
we
awful.
were 10 for 40 from 3.
Awful.
37 for 95 for a field goal percentage in general. What is next? Has Embiid just drowned this team to have no energy? What's next? What do we got to do to get some kind of energy in here? Is Embiid the dead weight?
Yeah, I mean, he probably won't play for the rest of the season, most likely, from what we're hearing.
He's done.
I think he's done. And I think, honestly, as we were saying before, Dennis actually alluded to this. It is really like the whole Yao Ming situation, but it's just kind of reversed a little bit. And it really sucks because Embiid could honestly go out as one of the greatest players of all. He could go out if he stayed more healthy. I mean, the guy had the potential, but it's just so unfortunate as a Sixers fan. We just have all these players that have so much potential, so much promise in them, and they just fall apart. And that's what's happened with Embiid. He is falling apart. It honestly reminds me of people who grew up in my kind of era, they probably can relate with this. When like you would die in the game Roblox and the Roblox character would just fall apart. That's Joel Embiid right now. The Roblox character falling apart, that is Joel Embiid right now in a nutshell. That is him, and that is the Philadelphia 76ers in a nutshell. And it just sucks. It really sucks because I know the tickets are cheap right now. People are actually going to the games, which is surprising. I mean, we've like
There's no way here. This is a stupid question, or this is the
Yeah.
stupidest thing I can come up to say about the Sixers right now.
Right.
Is that the Sixers are probably not selling enough tickets to even pay the players. That's the bad part. I bet you the ownership's going to have to take out a loan to pay these people.
Yeah.
Because it's getting to the point that fans they don't even want to go to games. They don't want to be there. Nobody wants to be inside the Wells Fargo Center unless the Flyers are playing. Somebody call John Bon Jovi and bring back the Philadelphia Soul, because at least somebody could win a championship in there.
I mean, that makes sense because this team actually has no soul. I mean, they have no soul at all. They are just, I mean, it's like they don't care about the fans at all.
They don't.
That spend a lot of money to go to games. I mean, honestly, it's not that much money now, but I mean, to really like lose in that kind of fashion, it's pathetic, man. It's really pathetic. And I mean, this team, as we were saying before, you have the talent on paper, but it's just the pieces are not going together at all. Nobody is working together, and it's just sad.
Hey, look, it's our buddy.
Look who it is.
This guy
This is the one topic I wanted to stop in and say hello. I think you guys both doing a great job. So if you guys haven't, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. KJ and Dennis are remaining about as positive as they can throughout this Sixers, downfall, this group therapy, as we'll call it. But the best analogy that I've seen and that I think we can come up with for Embiid is he's like a bag of rocks on a marathon runner. He's just dragging this team down in so many different ways, this organization down. And Paul George is the same thing. So I actually had a question for you guys. And that my question for you guys tonight is, are you guys regretful of the Paul George signing? Or do you think it's still too early to tell? Or is it already evident?
No, it's regretful. It totally is, because the guy has been off and on with injuries. It's regretful for sure. I mean, we thought it would be an okay move. We thought he would be better than Tobias Harris, and he's just not. He really isn't. And I mean, tonight people could be like, "Oh, well, he had a better game. He went 8 for 16 from the field." I mean, he scored 19 points, but I bet you, to be honest, though, I turned it off at like 7 minutes in the fourth quarter. I just had to. But I mean, a lot of them were probably just a lot of just like garbage time buckets. And I mean, there was some, I will tell you this, there was some better effort from Paul George. I mean, there was a really good move that he had in the post. And I mean, he was really able to bully Josh Giddey on one play. But besides that, I mean, like, it's just like, I know he had a 19-point game. It just still has been abysmal for Paul George. It really has. So I would say regretful for sure. I would say so.
I'm looking at stats, and I'm just like, this guy's 34. He'll be 35 in May. Do I think it's regretful? You could say yes. You could say no. He was put on a team that's already going to have an issue because their starting center doesn't want to play. He's already had to play out of position so many times where he doesn't like playing center. He does not have a center build. That's not where he's meant to be. Like, you can't expect the best play out of a man that's playing out of position. Let's all agree PG is not LeBron James.
Yeah.
KJ, I love you, but I'm kind of against you on that one. I don't think it's
That's all right.
regretful yet.
Yeah.
I think it's one season. I think you're dealing with an injury played roster with losing McCain and then Embiid being sissy boy. You know what I mean? So it's now if we get to next season and we're dealing with the same thing where he's not averaging at least 15 points a game and at least 7 rebounds and 7 assists, then I will give you the regretful trade barn.
Yeah.
But right now, I think it's way too early. This team has just given up on the season. Honestly, if I'm being real with you guys, I do not think Nick Nurse will be the head coach of the Philadelphia 76ers next season.
I agree. I think tonight, honestly, is a big pinpoint on Nick Nurse's future as the Philadelphia 76ers head coach. I think tonight, losing like that, I think that is a huge red flag for the organization. I think it's a red flag for the team in general. And I just think it's evidence right there that Nick Nurse is part of the problem. And I know people are going to be like, oh, well, you know what, though? He won a championship with the Raptors. Yes, he did that. But the problem is, though, I mean, it's just this team is such a mess, and he didn't know what he was signing up for. He had
my thing is like you can win a championship, so did Doc Rivers, but that didn't do nothing here.
Right, exactly.
Just because you won a championship somewhere else doesn't mean you're going to win it there. You know what I mean? And at this point, if Nick Nurse ain't found out how ruthless this city can be, maybe he should call Andy Reid. Maybe he should call, God forbid, Chip Kelly. And for goodness gracious, maybe he should call Doug Peterson. Because Doug won a championship and then flopped and then was gone. But Doug Peterson killed and ruined Carson Wentz. But we won't get into that conversation because this is about the Sixers. If you want to know how ruthless this city can be, call Larry Brown and ask him. Call Chuck, ask him. And you will find out. It's that simple. The Wells Fargo Center will tell you when you suck.
Yeah.
They will wait at the parking lot ramp and tell you suck.
And usually that means really that the team is like lifting you up most of the time. I don't think that's the case right now. I don't think these fans can really lift them up right now because, I mean, their spirits are just so down that I don't think you can lift them up at all. Not even like a crane from like the, what's it called? From a junkyard can lift these guys up. I mean, they are just dead weight right now. There's so many problems right now. I feel bad for Lonnie Walker because, I mean, it was a cool story hearing that he was coming back home, coming back to Pennsylvania. Reading, Pennsylvania is where he's from, actually. So that's a cool thing. And he came from Europe, but I don't think, honestly, he had 5 points. So he had his first he scored his first point as a Sixer. But, I mean, to come to this, man, I mean, I think he went 2 for 11, but it's pathetic. It's sad. I think he probably wishes he's back in Europe. He probably does. I don't blame him. So it's sad.
At this point, I think all these players wish they were back in college. It's just nobody wants to play. Nobody wants to be there.
Right.
And that's just where it's at. I mean, I think we would have a better starting 5 if we had Jack at center, Dalton at point guard, you at the shooting guard, me at power forward, and you could probably put Chaos Chris at small forward. And I think we'd win more games. And I can't even play basketball because I'm fat and I can't jump.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think
I'm
honestly,
sure Dalton's in the background, like shaking his head, laughing at me right now, or he's on the floor.
Yeah. I mean, right. Yeah. I
so
honestly,
depressing.
I mean, I'm looking at the stats too. I mean, for Tyrese Maxey, I mean, he went 3 for 10. He only had 13 points. And he went 1 for 2 on 3-pointers. So, I mean, I'm not going to, like, bash Maxey. That's the last person I want to bash because I feel like the kid tries his hardest.
I don't even blame Maxey at this point.
I don't blame him. That's what I'm saying. I don't blame him. I really don't.
It's not even like he's not even there for the paycheck anymore. He's there trying to keep the heart of the team together, and the rest of the team can't even do it. Kelly Oubre, God forbid, man. You came in hot last season, and then you pull a who can we mention? Al Horford, like you pull Al Horford basically.
Oh yeah, because he got hit by the car with his bus. I mean, with his
bike.
With his bike, I guess.
Like, dude, like, come on, man. Like, we
Yeah.
need to find the energy. We need to find Sixers passion again. Like, dude, I don't even look. I'm gonna go on a limb here, and I know we don't like talking about past stuff with the Sixers unless it's like really historical stuff. But me
I
and
mean,
you
we
connect
do.
on.
We'd rather talk about the past than the present right now.
But I mean,
With the
certain
60s.
things like we're sensitive on, like mascot situation. Me and
Yeah.
you connect on a mascot situation. I think we can agree at this point. I don't even think bringing back hip hop would save the fan base's happiness of
Yeah.
making them love the Sixers. Like, yeah, they'd be happy for a flashback night and see hip hop, but I think they would be so disgusted with the team that it would just ruin the moment.
Yeah.
That's how far the energy is going. There's nothing in the tank. You are basically Dalton's Tesla at Wawa waiting to charge up.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry it was there. It was
Oh
there.
jeez. I mean, I'll say this too. I mean, like we've talked about too, like with the jerseys too. I think I know why they haven't brought back the 2000s jerseys, because this team is just not proud enough to actually have the heart or even represent that year or that era that was going on, the Allen Iverson era. It's just not proud enough team. I'd probably say Maxi's probably the closest to Iverson we have, a guy who still, a guy who plays every game like it's his last, even though he did score 13 points, though. I don't blame him, though. There's just so much negative energy in the whole room. Not the room, but there's just negative energy in that
the
arena,
building.
in the building. I mean, just the whole building. It's just negative energy, and it's
dude,
depressing for sure. Because you also got the Flyers too. I mean, so that's
they actually thought wearing jerseys that represented the spectrum, spectrum
again, second time
of all buildings you want to disgrace, the fucking spectrum. And y'all can't even win a game.
Yeah.
Like,
and those jerseys represent all the four teams. I mean, if you look on the side, people are like, oh, why is there this rainbow? It's actually the greens for the Eagles. I believe the red is I think it's for the Sixers.
the Phantoms are one of them.
Really?
Yep. Because the Phantoms were a part of the Flyers for so long.
I guess so, but it was the Flyers though, right? Yeah, so the Flyers, I guess, / Phantoms, I guess. But and then obviously the Phillies. So I mean, but yeah, as Dennis was just saying, it's just a disgrace, and it's sad. I don't know why they do the spectrum thing again. I mean, I bet you the guy who just turned 75 years old, the late Dr. J, well, not late, but Dr. J.
Come on, man. Don't be wishing death on Dr. J.
No.
Come on, bro.
I was not wishing death. No, I was thinking of Moses for a second. That's what I was thinking of for a second. I was thinking of Moses and Dr. J, and that's what I didn't say late and great. I didn't do that, so don't worry.
I was about to say, we're going to have a serious conversation after
we
get off.
I love Dr. J to death, man. I would never say anything like that or anybody. But
what's our comments looking like, KJ? How's our fan base talking here?
Yeah, let's see the comments. So yeah, let's read some of the comments out a little bit. So we got Lucas Kraken over in Seattle, and he says, I'd rather watch paint dry than the 2024-25 Sixers. I don't blame you. Luke also said, no heart, no guts, nothing. The Sixers can't win. Steve Roth. Ash says, horrible, horrible game. It's time for the Phillies to shine.
I like that seal. He's cute.
I think it's a sea lion.
That's what I said, a seal.
You said sea. Ash is going to get mad at you. She'll get mad at you. You say seal over sea lion.
It's the same thing.
No. She's going to come in the comments.
They look the same. I worked at SeaWorld. It's like the same thing, bro. There's not much difference.
Right.
Yes, God bless Maxie.
Yeah, God bless Maxie is true. And that's pretty much it. God bless Maxie. That's right. That's right, Dalt. But yeah, as Luke said, it's unbelievable. It really is unbelievable. And I mean, this team just, I don't know where to go with this team. I mean, right now we are 20-37 in the standings. Right now we're 1 game behind the Brooklyn Nets. But you know who's on our tail right now? The Toronto Raptors. Charlotte Hornets at 14. Yeah, the Toronto Raptors 18. The Hornets at 14, and the Wizards at 10 wins. At least we're not the Wizards.
The bad part is we can still make the playoffs, but we'd be an in and out. It would not last long. There's just nothing there.
No
I'm at the point with Embiid that you need to just shut him off for the season. I'm not saying tank the season, but I definitely wouldn't put the effort out there to try and go win anything. Just go to the draft and draft somebody. Go get a center that you can build around and get rid of. Because I was looking at the thing and it said we got 4 years left of Embiid. You got 3 years left of PG. And then Daryl Morley's contract is good until 27, 28. So something's got to give. Somebody's got to go. And unfortunately, we're probably stuck with Embiid unless somebody sees something or the Sixers take some BS thing for him. Like right now, Embiid's not even worth the last 2 rounds of a draft pick. I wouldn't even give him that. You might be able to give money compensation, but the Sixers are going to get stuck with his salary. That's just what it is. I mean, something's got to give here, and I don't know what it is that's got to give, but the man is done. I don't know, dude. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm in bed. I had a long day at work, and then the Sixers have ruined my night. I am like mellowed out. I'm trying
see what you've done, Sixers. See what you've done.
Dennis has no energy. I can't even talk about how much I hate Reed Blankenship. Like, I'm just so depressed.
Hey, just think about the Eagles. Just think about the Eagles Super Bowl. That's all you can do. That's the
most energy I had was to talk about Dalton's Tesla being dead at Wawa, and that never happens. Is Dalton even still here, or is he gone?
Yeah, he's still here.
Is he laughing at me? He's like, "Don't you put me on the camera." He's like,
"Don't smile and wave, boys. Just smile and wave. Just smile and wave."
I'm gonna ask this, and I'm gonna put it out there, and this is kind of a question for you and Dalt.
Yeah.
What do you guys think it would take to turn the Sixers around in the next 4 years? And please just try to give a different answer besides getting rid of Embiid. What do you guys honestly think it would take?
It would honestly take a rebuild. You got to rebuild this team. You got to press the reset button on this team. That's the only way, because we've tried the same thing over and over again. And now it's just coming back, and it's biting us in the butt right now. It's biting us in the butt. And I know the Mavericks just did this and I know somebody just told me this recently. One of the things was that, like, with Luka Doncic, like, one of the reasons they got rid of him was because of his defense, sometimes with his injuries. And people were saying, like, okay, you know what, though? The Sixers should have done that, and they should have traded Embiid already. So then a team would kind of be stuck with him and whatever. But honestly, the rest of the league, and also, I mean, Daryl Morey was just too stupid to realize that this would come back and bite us in the butt. And that's what it's doing right now. So I would say, honestly, you got to rebuild this team. If you keep it the same way, keep it the same, I guess you could say that, like, the same kind of energy, dude, it's going to be like trying to poke at something, dude, like poking at a rock or whatever, dude. It's just pathetic.
It's like poking a snapping turtle with a freaking stick.
Yeah. Poking a snapping turtle. But the problem is the snapping turtle can't bite, though. It doesn't have a mouth or something.
I feel like watching the Sixers, this is going to be a very, very bad comparison. I feel like watching the Sixers is like being Crash Bandicoot being chased by the bear, or running into the turtle with the spikes on it.
What, Bowser?
No. Crash Bandicoot. You're young. You don't know.
I guess not. Yeah, I guess
Look
not.
up Crash Bandicoot PlayStation, and you'll see the turtles with the spikes on it. Anybody that's in my age range and understands, you guys get where I'm coming from.
Maybe when I see this, maybe I will.
As far as, like...
Oh, yes, the fox-looking guy. Yes, okay, I do know. Yes. I never knew what his name was, but I used to, yeah.
It's just depressing.
Yeah.
Dalt, I know you're sitting back there. I know you don't like to kind of jump in on shows and stuff, but I would really like to hear your opinion, bro.
All right. I mean, when I'm adminning, you guys shouldn't really bring me on this show because I like to admin the freaking show, for God's sake.
Well, Dennis put you on.
You guys are both doing great without me because I don't know jack shit about the Sixers. This is literally the first game I've watched all season. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I do. I fucking hate when other sports talk guys will hop on a show. I would think that the Philadelphia 70s. I'm not going to sit here and ball wash these fans and these people who are respected listeners. I am not qualified to answer that question. I would love to see the Sixers turn it around, but unfortunately, I got to be like a Cowboys fan right now. I got to tell you that there's a problem, but I can't give you a way to fix it.
You see, that's the answer I wanted. That's all I wanted him to say.
They're just in a hole that they'll never dig themselves out of, but that's all I got.
That's all I needed, brother. Appreciate you. We love you.
Yeah.
You see, I don't like doing that to Dalton. I don't like putting him on the spot, but
Yeah.
he's the type of fan, like, if he does watch a game, he can at least get the sense of the feeling of what we feel. And then you get an answer like that for somebody that's growing up or just getting into basketball. That is the answer that you need to hear from somebody if you're trying to learn something or even watch it for the first time. The answer he gave is specifically what you need. So as far as the where to next, as KJ said it, rebuild, dump everybody you have, and rebuild everything, because you're about to build a new stadium. God forbid, I think the Wells Fargo Center's cursed. So I hope to God somebody fixes something, because it sure as hell ain't happening. And excuse my language, I'm sorry. It ain't happening in the Wells Fargo Center. Before we go any further into this, we get any further into the show, Tick Pick, thank you for sponsoring us. Thanks for being there for us. We appreciate you. Thank you for always giving us easy tickets with no extra fees and always having our back. I know KJ's got the other sponsors over on the other side, but I wanted to make sure I shouted out Tick Pick, because they've always hooked me up with my tickets. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, I was trying to find the Tick Pick thing, but I actually can't even find it. But we still do love you, Tick Pick. We do. Same to me. I mean, I get all my tickets from Tick Pick. I mean, it's a great app. I mean, there's no fees, no nothing, no added bull crap that you have to go with the other apps. So if you want to take, I mean, God bless you. If you want to go to a Sixers game soon, and I mean, it's like almost going to a trip to, I mean, your wallet will probably think that you're going to Five Below. But yeah, I mean, if you want to do that, God bless you. I mean, but honestly, you won't get any fees if you use Tick Pick. So use Tick Pick.
Where to next? Tick Pick can take you to the Sixers game for just $5.
That sounds like fun.
Enjoy it now before we go on a 10-year run of being in the playoffs and making it to the championship all 10 times and making it.
And we'll go back to putting bags on our heads.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Sixers Postgame Show. I'm Dennis.
KJ McCoy. And we're out.
We're going.
Think so. All right, we'll see.
Know.
Yeah, but we're going to figure out the outro thing. We'll figure it out, everybody. So,
hey, Jack.
104, 7 seconds to play.
We're going to be talking basketball.
Dishes it to Barkley, who somehow finds daylight.